Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 1105 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to talk about AI scheduling. You won't believe all the kinds of things it can do to keep you on track. Hope you didn't miss episode 1104. That was Discounts Can Kill Your Business, and gives you ways out of discounting to create value and keep your profit margins high. Pick up a copy of my automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Version 3.0 is the current. However, in it, I talk about short keys, and it's now been discontinued as a program, and now it's a browser extension. So just keep that in mind till I do the update on the book. But grab your copy at screwthecommute.com/automate free, and check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com and my school at imtcva.org. And it's certified to operate by Chev. I got to say that. Okay. All right, let's talk about scheduling. You can do all kinds of things. I'm going to list them off here for you, and you can pick what you want. And first of all, this isn't any kind of great big technical thing that you got to do. It's all based on what you tell in a prompt your AI program. You know, ChatGPT is what most people are using, but it'll work in any of them that allow scheduling. And so for me, I have a couple of them, and I'm going to tell you the first one right now. Every day at 8 a.m., I told ChatGPT, send me 3 podcast ideas and tell me why they're relevant. And then I look at them every morning, and if it seems like it makes sense to me that that's a good one, I'll use that idea and I'll flesh it out and do a podcast on it. Some days, all 3 of them I don't like, and I don't think they're that important for my audience. So I skip them and just do my own thing. But it's after 1,100, and this is 5 podcasts, I tell you, I got to really think about, all right, what I want to put out there for you. And usually it's something that I'm doing myself so that it's very current. But anyway, that's one of the ways I use it. And I'll tell you another one a little while later. All right, now, here's some other things. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have 8 other ones I want to show you about. So it can remind you to get up and walk every 45 minutes or an hour or something if that's important to you. See, these are all things that are important to you. I can't tell you exact ones to do because you may not care about that. You can ask it for a quick business tip, or to be more specific, maybe a marketing tip or a copywriting tip, or something like that. And you can always tell it what frequency you want. I want it once a day. I want once an hour. I want it 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you can be very specific by just telling it what you want. Let's see. You can have a joke, a custom joke for your industry. You can easily get joke of the day things in email, but if you wanted it specifically for your industry, you could just tell it, hey, give me every morning a joke specific to my industry. And then you got to name the industry. Here's another one. Oh, this one has to do with my podcast. I was thinking, what are my notes here? I already told them about the podcast. No, this would be every, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which is, pretty much the schedule of my podcast, unless I'm super busy. Turn my podcast episode into 3 tweets and 2 video scripts. Or it could be in 1 email if you put an email out every time you put a podcast out. I do a digest every week. So that one's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Turn my podcast episode into 3 tweets and 2 video scripts. Well, you could do the same thing if you have a podcast. Let's see. Next one. These are just samples. Like I said, you put in whatever frequency you want. But I said once a week, give me a value email with no selling in it to help build trust with people. And I always want you as an email expert to make sure that people feel they get value out of whatever you're sending them through email. Now, this is one, personal accountability without any kind of judgment. So you could have it ask you at the end of the day, what did you accomplish today? And if you didn't accomplish anything, it'll you can tell it, get in my face and push me harder. So some people need that kind of stuff. I'm like, from the time my eyes open, I'm like working crazy. And so I don't really have any trouble with that, but some people might. And another thing you could say is every morning, give me industry trends so that you see and stay current in your industry. I mean, you can just think up anything on earth, but you have to give it a time frame. And there's no special part that of a button you have to push. You just tell it, I want this to happen, and you tell it to schedule. Now, if you want to edit any of those that you've put, this is for ChatGPT specifically. I don't know how to do it in the other ones, but if you want to edit or adjust or cancel or whatever you want to do on some of these, you just go to chatgpt.com/schedules. And it'll have all of them listed there that you're doing, and you can edit them. You can change the frequency. You can delete them, whatever you want to do with them. So scheduling, really a powerful thing. Now, this one that this other one that I have going has to do with personal hobbies, or, it does have to do with personal development somewhat, but it's offbeat in that I have it. I'm going to actually read the prompt. Once a week on Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, I just put this in today because I've been doing this for a long time, fooling with knots, but I forget them sometimes. So here's the prompt. Once a week on Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, give me detailed instructions and videos on one useful knot to practice that week. Once a month, quiz me on the knots covered that month. You can start with one today and then pick up the Monday morning schedule. So it came back with some videos, a picture. They picked the knot, the bowline, or Bowline. Some people say bowline, but it's bowline, and it's a very important knot. And it says, why is this the first one? And it gives me all the reasons. And it says how to tie it. And here's a video. And here's a practice challenge. Don't just watch. Tie it 10 times slow. Tie it 10 times without looking. Tie it 5 times behind your back. Bonus, tie it around something real like a chair or a fence or a post. And it's encouraging. You'll own it in 15 minutes. And then it says real world test. I didn't tell it to do any of this stuff. Okay. By tonight, use it for something. Tie a loop to drag something heavy. Secure something in your garage. Make a quick dog lead out of it. And says if you don't use it, you'll forget it. You don't use it, you lose it. And then it says what happens next. Every Monday, I'll give you a new knot with real world uses. And once a month, I'm going to quiz you. And I'm not going to go easy on you, it says. I've told my responses that they can be funny and get in my face. And then and it asked me on the next knot, do you want me to gear it towards survival and outdoors, or everyday utility, or self-defense, or boating, or heavy duty, and what pick which one. If I don't pick any, it'll just pick one on its own. All right. That's called skill development, where you don't get overwhelmed. So you could ask it, give me, like for a kid of yours, give me a driving tip I can pass on to my teen this week and work on it with them, or anything like that. So the scheduling is very, very handy function of your AI. All right, well, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com and my school at imtcva.org, the only licensed, dedicated internet and digital marketing school in the country, probably the world, certified to operate by SCHEV, the State Council on Higher Education in Virginia. But you don't have to be in Virginia because it's quality distance learning. It's operated like 13 years with high scrutiny from the state. So this isn't one of these fly-by-night things that call themselves a university or an academy or something. This is regulated. I have to get my license every year. Okay, so this is not playtime. So anyway, check it out at imtcva.org, and I will catch you on the next episode. See you later.